MCCANN, powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. Good morning and happy Friday. Happy Friday. The sun is finally shining here in Southeast Missouri. The sky is blue, not a cloud in the sky. Of course, that means pollen, mold, and mildew is through the roof. And my eczema is just... Okay. Hi, guys. How are you? I hope you've had a good week. I've had a decent... Well, yesterday sucked. But good news... It's getting taken care of, so I don't have to bust that company out and be like, so got taken care of. So, don't mind me. I panic a lot. I panic a lot about everything. What's up, guys? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more this nerdy nonsense. I found my Dune shirt, my favorite Dune shirt that I got from that Halloween convention. I was very happy. I was like, oh, like my favorite shirt. So happy I found it. Anyway, let's say good morning to the chat before we dive into some of our daily dose of dork. Get that right into your vein. Don't mind me. It is also shampoo day. And I tried to borrow some dry shampoo from my kid, but it's summertime. So she is most definitely still in bed. Of course she is. I can't do that. I remember sleeping super late, like in my teens and 20s and stuff. I just can't anymore. I think that's part of middle age. That and gas pain, feeling like it's the end of the effing world. You ever have like gas and you feel like you're dying, like you're having a heart attack and your guts are going to explode at the same time? Getting older is weird. It's weird. I can't change any position, like sit, stand, whatever, without going, ugh. I mean, I don't look middle-aged, I don't think, and that's been awesome. But I definitely freaking feel it. I feel it. Good morning, deranged lunatic. Welcome to my rant about being old. Good morning, Penny. Have you tried those lids things yet? Lids by Design, Contours RX. I love them. I did a little thing for them a few years ago, and they sent me like a bunch of those. I like them. I use them occasionally. I want to know what you think, though. Good morning, Nerdling First Class Backyard TARDIS. Good morning, and thank you. Backyard TARDIS tipped me yesterday. He did. He is just the coolest. Red 5 family for life, yo. I don't know where that came from, but Red 5 family, woo! Anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to be editing all day, even though the weather's nice. Well, I mean, it's nice now, but it's also still wet outside. So going outside right now would be like me with a death wish. So, good morning, Patricia! And I'm going to play with my lightsaber today, too, because my daughter had a sleepover with a friend, and I haven't shown it to her yet. Not that, you know, most 16-year-old girls in Gen Alpha care about such things, but I'm going to make her. I'm going to make her care. Buenos dias, Fernando. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us yet again. Good morning, Loki. Back off about my head, okay? I have a condition. Okay, I have a condition. Good morning, Maria. Good morning. And yes, getting older does suck, DL. It sucks. Donkey pole. I have a problem. What's up, guys? Let's talk some nerdy news. We got a couple things that we need to talk about. Did y'all see Lilo and Stitch? Did you see that? So I wanted to say something about that real quick. First of all, I loved it. That's my review. I enjoyed it. I liked Lilo and Stitch. I actually lived in Hawaii when the animated movie came out. I did. And I remember the Honolulu Star, which is like the big paper over there, gave a scathing review of the animated Lilo and Stitch when it came out. They did not care for it. They felt it was offensive. When I watched Lilo and Stitch, the live action, it really felt like Hawaii to me. It really, I don't know how to describe it. There's a certain, living in Hawaii feels different than anywhere else. And I'm sure that's the same for, LA, New York. The only other, something else I want to talk about today too, James Gunn. Anyway, it felt like Hawaii to me. And I liked the ending. I know the ending changed from the animated film. I feel like this thing is sliding off my head. I do. Good morning, Truth! We're going to be talking some Superman Una Memento. Anywho, I know it's an unpopular opinion to like the new, I'm coming off as muffled. Hold on. Let me try to fix that. Let me know if that's better. I think Kina was trying to tell me that too. Anyway, let me know if that sounds even better or any better. Anyway, so it's unpopular to like the new ending of Lilo and Stitch because in the movie, spoiler alert, but this is also what went on in the animated movie. In the movie, DFS pops in to check on him because Nani got custody of her sister at like 17, 18 years old when their parents died. She is a kid. Awesome. Good morning, buddy. Good morning, Real Anarchy. Thank you so much. Thank you. So anyway, she was a kid. She did not choose to become a parent. Okay. It was forced upon her. There was no choice. And she gave up a future, to take care of her sister, which is admirable and commendable and sweet. But I am here to tell you, living in Hawaii is ridiculously expensive. And I mean insane. The standard of living 20 years ago when I lived there, the standard of living was 6 times higher than it is here in the Midwest. 6 times higher than LA, higher than New York. All right. Insanely expensive. The house that they show in the movie that Nani and Lilo live in is easy a $3 million home. I am not exaggerating. I'm not lying to you. This is the truth. It's a tiny island, okay? And there are certain rules actually for buying land in Hawaii because there's so little of it. In fact, it's much easier to buy land there if you are from Hawaii. If you were born there, it's easier for you to buy land. But anyway, very, 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 very expensive and difficult to live there. If you want to work at like a hotel or at the airport or anything like that, you have to know how to speak Japanese. You have to know some Japanese because Hawaii is a cheap vacation for the Japanese because it's actually closer to Japan. So they get more Japanese tourists than anyone else. So you need to know some Japanese. So it's very hard to find work. It's extremely expensive. The taxes are out of this world. And they just instituted a new tax, which is ridiculous. But anyway, to expect an 18-year-old to be able to competently raise a very young child is unreasonable. I mean, I'm not saying it can't or shouldn't be done, but I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. So DFS shows up to inspect, and of course, Nani is struggling. And it's understandable that she would be struggling. Lilo is a wild little monkey child, and it's just adorable. And it's expensive to live there. And with all the problems, Nani loses jobs. And hey, man, I was a single mother, and I lost several jobs as a young single mother because of one of my children had emotional issues, and I had to constantly leave work to take care of them. So understandable. And DFS, okay? DFS, I swear to you, just like wants problems, okay? They're not kind about this stuff. So having that going on, and then the house burning down, of course DFS is going to be like, listen, you're trying, but if you want this kid to have a good, solid foundation and a good life, you're not in the best position to achieve that. So the best possible thing could have happened. Their Tia, their aunt, their next door neighbor, she offers to foster Lilo. So Nani and Lilo can live with her, and Nani gets the opportunity to go to college and better herself so she can better take care of Lilo. How is that a bad thing? That's like the best thing that could possibly happen. Nani didn't choose this. It was forced upon her. And she doesn't have the tools because she was a kid herself. And she wasn't preparing to raise a child. So now, not only does Nani and Lilo have a happy, safe, healthy environment to exist together in, but Nani also gets to have a career for herself. And let me tell you something, living in Hawaii, she's going to need that marine biologist degree. Okay. So I am a fan of how that movie ended. I thought it was great. Good morning, Comics Dad. I feel much better. Okay. My sinus infection is cleared up. But, now the pollen and mold and mildew is high. I'm sorry, I'm middle-aged. You can't ask me that question. Middle-aged. Good morning. Okay, so that is how I feel about Lilo and Stitch, the live-action film. And that's just how I feel about it. And I'm like, again, I caught some crap for enjoying the ending. I did. I don't care. I think it's great. I thought it worked out well. Anywho, let's check out some headlines. I have come across this. This is an audition tape of Arabella Stanton for Hermione. I have looked this kid up. Okay. I've looked this kid up. Oh, real quick. Can I say this one last thing about the Lilo and Stitch thing? Because this is why it kind of chaps my booty. This is why it chaps my ass. That people are like, what a terrible, terrible ending. I thought Ohana means family. Families stick together. A family should stick together. Yeah, but also that kind of mentality puts kids in a bunch of situations that they probably shouldn't be in. It puts a lot of stigma on those situations. That is the reason why so many single mothers, myself included, did not ask for help when they needed it. Because if you ask for help, someone's going to look down on you and just assume you can't do it at all and steal your kids away from you. Call the state, have the state come in, take your kids. And then who knows what situation they're going to be in. We need to stop putting that kind of stigma on that. Sometimes in situations like Nani and Lilo's, she didn't have the tools and she needed help. She needed help. And she got it. And I think that's great. Not enough stitch. I can probably agree with that. But I think we need to stop putting the stigma on women who need help in those situations. And by saying she should have continued to suffer and struggle. And let me tell you something. Again, 17, 18-year-old kid trying to raise a very small child with no college degree, no actual tools, working entry-level jobs in Hawaii. God, that's impossible. Absolutely impossible. So, well, that's great. That's great. I raised 4 kids by myself, and I constantly had people working against me. I didn't have any support system. None. And a lot of people working against me to make it even harder and make it look even worse. And if I had asked for help at that time, they would have used that against me. So that's a very lucky situation, I'm very happy for her that she didn't have to go through a lot of the stuff that my kids and I had to go through, because who does it really hurt? It hurts the kids. And that's what I was thinking of in the Lilo and Stitch thing, that was a wonderful situation for Lilo, because not only does she still get her sister, her sister's still there. She's just going to college. But she also gets a better foundation and a more stable situation for her and for Nani. So that's why I liked it. They only take kids away if you're a drug. That's not true. At least not where I live. They will try to use a lot of stupid stuff against you. My exes tried to say, that's Lilo. I'm so sorry, Ro. I see your comment down there. I was poor and have a lot of money, and they used that against me. I was poor. I didn't have a lot of money, and I was bad with money, and I didn't have a support system. Those were all worked and used against me. So there's that. And this is not necessarily my gypsy look. This is, I have a shampoo day. It's shampoo day. And this is what I wear when I'm outside gardening anyway, like yank my hair up in a bandana. Okay. But a lot of people, at least in small towns, will actually use Division of Family Services to attack people they don't like. That happens a lot here. Again, I've said it many times. I live in a very corrupt area, and the Division of Family Services in this area is not only in the business of keeping families apart, but they were knowingly sending children to a camp where they were being trafficked. Not kidding. So, it's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to this. My sister's trying to call me. Someone tell her I'm live right now. Anyway, so why am I laughing like Pee Wee Herman? So this little girl, Annabella Stanton, Arabella, that's it, Arabella Stanton. I have noted, I looked her up. I was very interested in this kid because she, especially after you watch this, is very much, this is hilarious. You guys are cracking me up. She's live. Anyway, good morning, Patricia. So she is a West End theatrical actress, and she was in a production of Matilda. And there's this one shot of her in this production. She looks like Hermione. She's got these books, a sweater, her hair's all crazy. And she looks like Hermione. Well, then I watched this. In the book, Hermione is described as having big brown eyes, teeth that stick out, and crazy wild curly brown hair. So I'm very, very fascinated at just how perfectly well she has embodied this character in this audition. It's just
That's nicely. You're looking for the post office, aren't you?
How did you know that?
You've circled the block a few times, so you're obviously lost. If I'm investigating a missing person, I started the post office to see if they registered an emailing address. Except our post office collapsed about a month ago, and they haven't updated the online coordinates. I could show you if you ask nicely. You're looking for the post office.
Is she not perfect? To me, she is more Hermione Granger just in this clip that Emma Watson was. And I loved Emma Watson as Hermione. Reminds me of my daughter. Anyway, bye, Bro Goo. Have a great weekend. She does have Emma's cadence down. Hardcore. Good morning, Sergeant Giratina. She is amazing at this. She's got it in the bag. This is Hermione. She looks like her. She acts like her. She sounds like her. Loki says there will be too much social pressure for anyone to openly criticize the kids. Oh, I think Emma Watson was amazing. I think Emma Watson was amazing as Hermione. She was great. She did a great Hermione. But this girl, this is how I picture Hermione in my head. Is this girl right here. When I first read the books many, many years ago. This kid has absolutely nailed it. I think they've done an amazing job in casting Hermione. And if they did this good casting Hermione, I can only imagine, or I only hope that the other two are just as good. But I'm very impressed. She's very good at this. And I get a bee in my bonnet about people attacking the kid actors. They're just freaking kids. They're having fun. They're doing something that, many kids dream about, and they get the opportunity to do it. And look, I think a lot of this comes from remembering what Jake Lloyd went through. It just wrecked his life. And then what's his name? Jack. Why can't I say his last name? Gleason. Jack Gleason from Game of Thrones. He played Joffrey. People just absolutely ripped these kids apart and their children. They do not have the emotional tools to deal with that. It's not their fault. They're kids. People attacking kids is just the absolute worst. They need to be left alone. So Jake Lloyd played young Anakin Skywalker in the prequels, and people were awful, just absolutely awful to him. And this little girl is the cutest little thing. She's just adorable, but I think she's great, and I'm very excited to see what she does. Again, I really think a show about Ilvermorny, the American School of Magic, or one of the many other schools of magic could have been done. Give us new Harry Potter content instead of rehashing, but anyway, I think this was really good casting. They did a good job. All right. More casting announcements. And I got a funny story, but anyway, more casting announcements for the Vision series. Apparently, James Darcy will reprise his role as Edwin Jarvis in the Vision Quest series. And they keep calling it Vision Quest, but I'm just Vision series. So he's going to be showing up. So we've got all of the AI so far are reportedly coming back, and they will be in humanoid forms. Haley Joel Osment would have been a better Anakin. So there's that. Now, yesterday when we were talking about how Stevie from Schitt's Creek has been cast in the Vision series also. I had happened to be watching Grimm, and of course Kirk Acevedo shows up. Kirk Acevedo, who is also in 12 Monkeys. So you had Todd Stashwick, Kirk Acevedo. I can't think of Stevie's name right now. Emily something. Anyway, good morning, Taco Cat. Anyway, he was also in Star Trek Picard season 3, as was Aaron, what's his face, who played Pyro in X-Men. He was also in 12 Monkeys. He was like the lead, but he was in Star Trek Picard season 3. Kirk Acevedo was, Todd Stashwick. Terry Metalis really likes to use actors he knows that he's comfortable with because they work well together. So they announced Todd Stashwick is in the Vision series, as is Emily Hampshire. I think that's her name. She's in it too. So I posted this, and Kirk said, I could use more work. I said, I have a feeling Terry will be calling you for a role in the Vision series any day. He's like, found that very funny. He said, I dare you to at him. I ain't scared. I've talked to Terry on Instagram. So I posted in both places. But anyway, I just have a really strong feeling that Kirk Acevedo is going to show up in that series, because that's kind of what Terry does. That's what Terry does. 12 Monkeys, this series. Terry Metalis was the showrunner for 12 Monkeys, this series on Sci-Fi. And he's done a few things since then, but he did so well with Star Trek Picard season 3 that Marvel hired him for the Vision series. Hi, Sissy. That's my sister who just tried to call me, guys. And my niece, Ava. Hi, Ava. I love you so much, too. My sweet baby. Love that kid. So anyway, mark my words. Kirk Acevedo is going to show up in the Vision series. Mark my words. Mark them, I said. Also, Laura Linney has been cast in Lanterns. I wonder who she's playing. And I don't know. To me, it's weird that these casting things come out when they're like almost all the way through filming. But yeah. So we've got James Darcy in the Vision series, Laura Linney in Lanterns. I still think Kirk Acevedo is going to show up in Vision. So there's that. I like Laura Linney. She's a great actress. James Darcy was a great Jarvis. Yes. Speaking of MCU stuff, Ralph Ineson has been talking about how he got into character for Galactus. And this is very funny to me. He said he prepared for his role as Galactus in the Fantastic Four First Steps by driving through tunnels of Mount Blanc, just imagining that as his windpipe in his trachea. He also went to a lot of tall buildings. Okay. Is he imagining he's the building? Like, that's how big he is? You get into character that way. See? I'm not the only one who's like, no, all right. That's something. That's a thing you can do. Oh my God. Listen to me right now. every single one of you in the chat, I want you to congratulate my baby sister. She just got into the RN program, the registered nurse program. She has been working so hard at this. I gave you that Wonder Woman scrub top months early because I knew. I've told you this whole time. It's not even a question. You didn't even need good luck because you had the brains. I knew it was going to happen. Congrats. Congrats. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. I love you. Congratulations, baby sister. Smelly Ellie's going to be an RNE. Yay! I'm so proud. All right, I got to do my job now. I'm so proud of you. I'll call you when I'm done. Comic Stan says, tell me you don't know the source material without telling me you don't know the source material. He's not this tall as Billy. He's even bigger. He eats planets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, he can shrink down. He can shrink down and stuff, but at least he's not a fart cloud. Look at that. Everyone's saying congrats. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I love you too. But yeah, Ralph Ineson. See, Galactus is just like a fact of nature, right? He's like a cosmic fact, you know? He is inevitable. Like, he is a force of nature. He's more like chaotic neutral. He's not good or evil. He just is. He just exists. And I think you would have to be like hungry Vulcans. That's what I would study to get into character for Galactus. I know that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, same as the Watcher. Same as the Watcher. He was created by, was it the one above all? Like he's not like the Eternals or anything. He is just a fact of nature, a force of nature. Like he's just a part of nature. He's a part of the universe. So to get into character for that, you would have to Jack Kirby. Yes. You would have to basically, why won't that go away? You would have to remove all emotion. He's just hunger. That's all he is. He gets hungry, he eats, he moves on. Gets hungry, he eats, he moves on. He has no emotional attachment, really. He just hungry. He just hungry. So, I mean, if you are going to look at things or drive to things to get into character, I would suggest checking out mountains or wind. I mean, they just exist. They don't have any malice or emotional reason or ambition, motivation behind anything other than just existing. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about my sister getting into the RN program, but yeah, he is the one above all. So, Loki, Galactus will never be seen again after this. But yeah, he's not a god. He's not necessarily a villain. He just exists. Chaotic neutral or just neutral. He just exists. So I think it's kind of weird to be like, I'm going to drive through this tunnel and that's going to get me into character for Galactus. It's so silly. That's just crazy. Crazy to me. Similar to some of the stuff that Vanessa Kirby was saying. So, we got this new look at Sue Storm. Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm. And Matt Shackman describes her as inspiring, idealistic leader of what the Fantastic Four represents. She is essentially the Secretary General of the UN. Comics Dad, I'll say it. Dude's an idiot, not a touch. He's just weird. Just weird. But she said something that she out nerded the people at Marvel. Good morning, Jalen. Good morning. Yeah, Reed Richards is the leader of the family. He is the leader of the family. The leader of what the family, the Fantastic Four, represents. I don't know what that means. But she said she out nerded the Marvel people because she started talking about quantum physics and cellular vibration and stuff like that. Listen, I'm a huge fan of quantum physics. I know it sounds really weird, but quantum entanglement, spooky action at a distance, I find that absolutely fascinating. I introduced my grandfather to it, and he was like, I want to watch this on YouTube all day. But so I wouldn't say it's like unbelievably unbelievable that she wouldn't enjoy quantum physics, but it does seem improbable. But yeah, what does that have to do with playing Sue Storm? What does quantum entanglement have to do with playing Sue Storm? You're an actor. Just research the character. Like, read some comic books. I don't know. I think these actors these days, modern actors these days, need better PR. Like, stop trying to relate to everyone and just be yourself. Just be a person. Just be a normal person. Okay? Stop being a tryhard. Just say, like Millie Alcock. She's like, I hope they like the character. I hope they like me as Supergirl, and I hope they accept her. That's all you need to say. I worked on this movie. I worked really hard on it, and I hope you like it. That's all you need to say. That's it. And stop being so damn elitist. Like, stop. Yeah, she'll read quantum physics, but not the comic book. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Maria says, I would rather turn invisible than stretch my body really far. Girl, I'm going to tell you, you should look up this psychological study, the psych test they do. They'll ask people, which of these superpowers do you want? Look up what it means if you choose invisibility. I'm not going to tell you. You look it up. Anywho, just to, yeah, do what Tom Cruise has been doing. And listen, I'm not necessarily a huge Tom Cruise fan. I'm really not. He's kind of weird to me in so many ways, but anywho, he's been absolutely killing it with promotion and stuff. He knows how to do it. I think instead of continuing to act, which, I mean, yeah, I guess go ahead, sure, whatever makes you happy, you live your life how you see fit, but maybe he should be head of a studio. I think he should be running a studio. I think he running a studio. See what I did there? But no, I think he would be great at running a studio. I really do. Good morning, Dom. Actors are too overexposed now. They need to do fewer interviews. Agree. The obsession with every single aspect of an actor's life feels very Roman Empire to me. Like the whole Met Gala, the obsession over the Met Gala, it just, everyone dresses so unbelievably weird, and they got to one up each other and dressing weird and acting weird, and they have to try to appeal to literally everyone, which is impossible. absolutely impossible. It just so weird to me. It's so weird, and being completely obsessed with everything that an actor does in their personal life is just creepy and screams of mental illness to me. And I'm here to tell you that every single A-lister probably has histrionic personality disorder, which fondly referred to in my household as Tinkerbell syndrome, the Tinkerbell mental illness, the if I don't have attention, I'll die thing, and I'll do anything to make it happen. I'd say most of them do have histrionic personality disorder. Just saying. Anywho, we got some new looks. David Cornsweet as Superman. We've got an article here talking about how the response to the recent Superman test screening may have led to changes for the upcoming Gunn movie, Superman. According to a report from World of Real, last-minute changes have rocked James Gunn's Superman reboot, including the removal of nearly 25 to 35 minutes of footage, the replacement of an editor, and the addition of a second composer. Let's see. That is coming from thatparkplace.com. And they are reporting World of Real as their source on this. So take this with an absolute grain of salt. Other insiders describe what's going on with the movie as a slight tweak, and the fact that the changes were still being made weeks before the final cut suggests deeper creative uncertainty. The film's official runtime was revealed early this week as 2 hours and 2 minutes, clocking it well below what many fans expected for a major superhero reboot, while earlier cuts were said to reach over 2.5 hours. The final version now runs significantly shorter, right around 2 hours. This led many to believe Warner Brothers is hoping to keep the pace tight and the reviews stronger. The final Superman test screening is reportedly happening this week, and whether these sweeping changes have made a difference remains to be seen. For now, insiders say there's a tad more confidence from the studio heads that Superman will deliver the clean slate DC desperately needs. And again, take this all with an absolute grain of salt, because World of Real is not that reliable. I completely agree with Loki. TPP? What? Oh, the Park Place? That Park Place. I would say I don't care either way about that Park Place. It's just something I get information from and check that information from time to time. That's all. That's what I would say. But I wouldn't call World of Real reliable. Yeah, World of Real said that Sinners had bad screenings, and Sinners is amazing and is getting a sequel, apparently. So, and as far as no, unless I see something for myself and have undeniable proof, I will take it with a grain of salt. Always. Let's talk about this earlier on Sinners. I hope they fight werewolves next. But yeah, I take it all with a grain of salt. I've heard that I've heard the test screenings went great, and I've heard this too. So unless I see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, feel it for myself, I place no judgment until I do. No final judgment until I do. But this looks great. I think he looks like Superman. Are they going to have sharks with frickin' laser beams? Good question. I think he looks great as Superman. I do. But like I said, according to Production Weekly, and I can check this on the other production site I use, productionlist.com. Where is he at? What is this like? They really want to charge you like $60 a month to use this. And I refuse to pay that. Come on. This thing is running so slow. It's not even raining today. Like, what's your problem? Well, I don't see it on my production list, but Critical Overlord, who I do get to talk to occasionally, is saying that according to Production Week, it's in early development. Maria says, Sinners sequel is a terrible idea. The movie should stand alone. If it does, it's a good standalone. Did they digitally enhance or decrease Corn Sweat's crotch like Brandon Ruth? Real question. I don't know. Let's ask James Gunn. That's funny. Speaking of James Gunn, I got another bone to pick before we get to our final topic. I do. I have a bone to pick because they're doing this world tour, Superman World Tour. Manila, Rio de Janeiro, London, Paris, Los Angeles, New York, Beijing. Doesn't seem like the whole world, by the way. Doesn't seem like the whole world. But they're going to all these towns. He's from St. Louis. He's from St. Louis. And yet, the only two American cities he picked is LA and New York. Why does the rest of the world think those are the only two cities in the United States of America? It's really super annoying. That is not the United States. There are a lot more people who live outside of LA and New York than live in LA and New York. And to do this world tour and completely ignore the entire middle section of the United States where he's from is bullshit. Exactly, deranged lunatic. It's bullshit. And again, helps perpetuate this idea that we're nothing. We're nothing. We don't matter. Like when he talked about how he wanted the farm in Superman to resemble more of the farms he grew up around, and that's why they used a converted double wide. Holy shit, my left ass cheek. First of all, he's from the richest part of St. Louis and not a farm to be seen in like 60 miles. And if they did have a farm in West County, they could definitely afford an actual house and not a double wide. I'm a farmer. Okay? I'm a farmer. And I don't live in a trailer. No farmers I know live in trailers in Missouri. That's just absolutely stupid. And then on top of it, let's do a world tour and pretend like the only two cities in the United States that we have to choose from are LA and New York. Comics Dad says, yeah, they all see us as poor, uneducated fools. Hollywood needs to cease to exist on a business and entertainment level. They see us as dumb hillbillies or Hoosiers, if you're from St. Louis. They see us as these dumb hillbillies that just don't know nothing, and we ain't got no money. We ain't got nothing. I got this 5-gallon bucket I can pee in, and I just dump it in the woods. Stupid. Makes me so Gun trying to be relatable. And that's what irritates me. Just stop doing that. Stop. I've lived in a trailer. I lived in a trailer, but not on a farm. That's just silly. It's silly. And for him to say he grew up around farms, did he take a lot of trips to St. Francis County or something? Because there are no farms in St. Louis. Stop it, James Gunn. Not in West County, St. Louis. West County. Where are these farms with the trailers, James Gunn? Is it next to Neiman Marcus or Saks Fifth Avenue? I'm so confused because both of those are in West County, St. Louis. Jesus. Stop. I like him as a filmmaker. I'm excited for Superman, but stop talking, James. Backyard TARDIS. Hey, I'm from California and I have a customer who asked me to go dump her pee bucket. I have a funny story about pee bucket. Anyway, just to be from an area that is the most overlooked in the entire country, and then to you yourself overlook it, just shameful. Just, oh. Okay. So let's get back to it. Excuse me. So Rory McCann, as you are probably aware, we talked about this when this hit, and I love Fantha Tracks. They're one of the first people I met internet wise when I started the channel, and that was thanks to my friend Details. Anyway, they're reporting this. I'm using their article, and as you all know, Rory McCann will be taking over the role of BAYLAN SKOLL for Ray Stevenson, who sadly passed away after absolutely just nailing that and becoming an absolute fan favorite. But Rory McCann was talking to comicbook.com, and here is what he had to say about taking on such a huge role. Here, let me remove this and pull it up for you right here. Here we go. So here's what he had to
Some
say.
big boots to fill, stepping into the role of old BAYLAN SKOLL.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Following the late great Ray Stevenson, what can you share about honoring, that performance while also making it, your own role?
I can't really say much about it apart from just that it's big shoes to fill. I'm so glad that, and I think it's the right decision to carry on his storyline, not just cut it off. We've done it before with other things. I hope the fans embrace it, and I'll do my best. I'm just starting now, so I'm just trying to be in the right zone for doing it. It's pretty bloody exciting. I mean, I remember being a kid with my dad, going to the first one, probably in the late 70s, and now I'm training with a lightsaber at night. Really?
Oh, God love him. That's the best thing you could possibly say. I'm going to do my best. I'm excited. I'm going to do my best. Take note, Hollywood. That's how you talk about a role. Good for him. Good for Rory McCann. Big fan of him as the Hound in Game of Thrones. And I'm certain I'm going to love him as BAYLAN SKOLL. Let me know what you guys think in the chat below. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does, and I love his excitement. Loki says Stevenson was the best thing about the show and was also the best Punisher. Dom Riley, but what does he know about quantum physics? Inquiring minds want to know. Those are the real important things when it comes to talking about a character. Let's talk about quantum physics. All right, guys. Let's dive in. Or we're going to do this. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four test screening and what people had to say about it. Now, I've got this from Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy is a critic, scooper, what have you. Not Eddie Murphy's brother. He passed away, sadly, several years ago. And he's got straight dope on what people were saying after they left the Fantastic Four First Steps test screening. Director Matt Shackman's choice to set the new film in a retro, futuristic 1960s New York sets the film apart from both of Fox's previous versions while grounding it in the same era in which Stan Lee and Jack Kirby launched the world's greatest comic magazine. But will that be enough to make the Fantastic Four First Steps the world's greatest comic book movie? While it wouldn't take much to earn the title of the best Fantastic Four film, fans are hoping for much more out of Marvel Studios' first Fantastic Four film, especially with Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Evan Moss-Backrack, and Joseph Quinn leading the way. Can they deliver? With just under 2 months until the film hits theaters, the studio made the decision to do a test screening in Los Angeles, giving the public a first look at first steps, and reactions have begun to make their way online. Good morning, Omari! And you have a point. The Incredibles might actually be the best Fantastic Four film. From the collective reactions coming out of the test screening, the Fantastic Four First Step sounds like a very straightforward, very comic book Fantastic Four adventure. According to one viewer, Ralph Innocent's, I always want to say Rafe because of, anyway. Ralph Innocent's Galactus is terrifying and the best part, described as having an incredible scale and ripped straight from the comics. So not a giant lingering fart cloud. The same viewer said the film's plot feels very Lovecraftian with a cosmic horror angle that gives it a lot of personality. On the negative end of the spectrum, however, the film's lack of character development was cited as well as a disappointing use of Reed's powers and use at all of the Thing. So let me repeat that. On the negative end of the spectrum, viewers of the test screening said the film's lack of character development was cited as well as a disappointing use of Reed's powers and use at all of the Thing. All in all, it sounds as though it's a spectacle-heavy sci-fi adventure with summer blockbuster appeal. However, as always, social media reactions from test screenings and early screenings can't really be taken too seriously, no matter which way they lean. They are, after all, just opinions, and opinions do indeed vary. And that's an excellent way to end that article. Loki says, normal people don't talk like this. Depends on your definition of normal. And people, I guess. Dom Riley says The Incredibles is the best superhero movie of all time. So we're hearing a lot of spectacle, a lot of sci-fi, Lovecraftian, cosmic horror. Ralph Innocent's Galactus is incredible and just awe-inspiring, but if I'm interpreting this correctly with the lack of character development, that the family dynamic might be a little boring and that you don't see a lot of Reed using his powers and good use of the thing. Again, this is a test screening. So Backyard TARDIS says, wait, we know normal people? I know. That's what I was thinking, because I am a massive weirdo. I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm super weird. And I wish I wasn't so weird. But I'm really weird. Loki says, all fog machine, no dance floor. So how do you guys feel? Does this affect your desire to see the film? Does this encourage you? Does it discourage you? Do you give two shits whatsoever about what a test screening audience says? Let me know in the chat below. Cosmic Comics Dad says Disney needs MCU to fail and then sell off Marvel Comics separate of Marvel Studios. That is all I want. Will it happen? Probably not. But a gal can dream. Oh, you like me because I'm weird, DL? So glad. Stop making faces, Danielle. Comics Dad says, I wasn't seeing it anyway. Not with my own money, at least. Well, I'm going to see it. I'm curious. I'm very curious. I'm excited. Yeah, that's basically me. Going with zero expectations. I went no expectations. And how I try to go in. And usually about this time, I stop looking at new stuff. I stop watching new teasers, trailers, scenes, whatever, because I want to go in blank slate and have them fill my empty vessel with entertainment if they possibly can. Loki says, you couldn't pay me to see another Pascal movie. Omari says, it could be mediocre at best and still be the best Fantastic Four movie that's ever come out. Facts. No lie detected. Don Riley says, Fantastic 4 out of 10. I try to give every film I see an equal chance. I give it the opportunity to entertain me, to give me an enriching experience. Sometimes it happens. These days it's kind of rare, but I do give them all equal shot. I am looking forward to this summer. There's some good stuff coming out. Looking forward to Superman. I'm even looking forward to Jurassic Park. I want some good stuff. I want some summer blockbusters. I want the movie theaters to make some money. It's good for the economy. It's good for us. It's good for entertainment. And I hope that it's good movies that keep those theaters open. Like Tom Cruise was saying, and I can't believe that I'm saying this about Tom Cruise. Like, it's really blowing my mind. But him thanking the movie theater employees, and man, those kids go through some crap. They really do. So I want some good movies. I want to be excited again. Right now, it just feels everything is just oversaturated, overexposed. We're focusing far too much on the wrong thing, far too much on the personal lives of these actors and celebrities. Celebrity obsession is just ruining so much in entertainment for us. Backyard TARDIS says, I give the equal chance to win me over with marketing. Fair enough. Fair enough. Real Anarchy says, I really want to see this film, but something about the trailers hasn't sold me on it. I just don't think it looks that great. In my humble opinion, I just don't like the casting of Johnny. Fair enough. Fair enough. He goes on to say, I hope it makes money. Marvel needs a win badly. This is true. Comics Dad says Pedro's the worst part of the film. He's an immediate turnoff for lots of people now. I still can't get over him as Prince Oberyn, though. Comics Dad says they just need to shut up and entertain. Celebrities are ruining it for us, too. Yep. That obsession with their every waking moment is just weird, and it's ruining an entire industry. It is. But if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, then please drop it in the chat below. We are wrapping this bad boy up for the week because it's Friday. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. And I don't stream on Saturdays and Sundays. I get to sleep some, maybe take a bath, a glass of wine if I can afford it. Anyway, if you would like to help support the channel, the easiest way to do that is to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy goodness. But if you feel moved to help support the channel in other ways, then thank you, because I cannot keep this show going without help from you guys. I'm not monetized yet. And every day, I'll go up 5 hours, go down 5 hours. It's so obnoxious. But I'm not monetized yet. So the streaming software is not paying for itself yet. So without help from you guys, I'm unable to keep doing that. And if you feel moved to help, I've got some great options for you. All the links are in the description below. But you've got this handy QR code right here. That takes you to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua. And you can tip me as little or as much as you like. That movie, they're making a movie about it. Shut up. Big movies about anything these days. Anyway, that money goes directly to paying for streaming and editing software, music licensing, equipment, internet, you name it. If that doesn't float your boat, if you're not comfortable with buymeacoffee.com, there's also Cash App. I ain't too proud to beg. I'll take food stamps. I'm kidding. That's illegal. Don't send me your food stamps. I also have a merch store, comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. All the merchandise you see, all the designs were 100% made by yours truly. I do not have my favorite mug in here today. I had my tummy hurts and I'm mad at the government mug. It's like the most me coffee mug to have ever existed. Anyway, if you like nerdy designs, I refer to myself as a non-denominational nerd. So there is a design with my glasses that says non-denominational nerd. That's one of my favorites. There's a lot of cool stuff. So check out comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com today, or you could join the official Nerdling Army by going to patreon.com/comicsand. We have 3 tiers starting as little as $3 a month. You get exclusive content, Ask Me Anything, behind the scenes outtakes, the exclusive Nerdling Army chat, and your own exclusive merch that corresponds directly with your specific tier, or as we say in the Nerdling Army, rank, and an insignia that comes on your merch every 3 months for the first year of your membership. And the higher your tier, the doper your merch is. Like if you are top tier, you get a sweet hoodie. You get a really cool hoodie. So check that out today. Go to patreon.com/comics and to join the Nerdling Army. I'm also an affiliate for several companies like Leash Boss. Do you have dogs? Do you love your dogs? Go to leashboss.com. Use my link, get 15% off. Also, Zenny Optical, where I got my glasses, if you need glasses. Cora's Vault for superhero collectibles. AliExpress, and even shopapotheosis.com/comicsand. That is a local comic book shop and bar in my old hood of South City, St. Louis. Comic book bar. They have comic book themed drinks. They have a whole section dedicated to every appearance of St. Louis, Missouri in every comic book ever. I mean, collectibles, apparel, games, comic book subscription boxes. Use my link, use my code, you get 10% off. It's not bad. Also, I'm a member of the Red 5 Network. This podcast is powered by Red 5, and I absolutely love this network. I would not be continuing this podcast now. I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for my Red 5 family, for the Red 5 Network. If you like this podcast, then chances are you'll like more of the Red 5 Network. We are all a collection. Words are hard. Okay. They're hard. We are a collective of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators who absolutely love what we do, and we love each other. So if you would like to check out more of what the Red 5 Network may offer you, go to red5.bio.link today to check out what more we have. Danny DL asks, have you seen Kathleen Kennedy anywhere near St. Louis? Don't put that in my head. But my head is always on a swivel. I'm always keeping my eye out. I'm always keeping my eye out. Do you know why? Do you know why, guys? Why am I always keeping my eye out? All right, guys, I got to go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time for more of your daily dose of dork. Until then, you should keep your heads on a swivel too.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!